So before I get into this week's review for NXT this week, I want you to do me a favor, help me out, support me, and you see those links in the description box down below this video. Go to every single one of them. Follow MRB Wrestling Reviews on Twitter. Hit that follow button. Hit that like button on the Mick Rock'n'Bull Wrestling Review Show on Facebook, as well as hit that subscribe button down below this video. Click that bell for notifications so you get all the content that you want out of this channel. So without further ado, here's my review for this week's episode of WWE NXT. Hello all MRBers and welcome to another video with me, Mike McRock, and I am one half of the Mick Rock'n'Bull Wrestling Review Show, and right now I am going to deliver to you my review of this week's edition of WWE NXT, the June 7th, 2017 edition. Now, as far as this show goes, I didn't mind it. It was a fine episode. They never really accomplished a lot, only hints and little things developing throughout this show. That's alright, because still at this stage they're still trying to develop something for their next takeover special event, that is Brooklyn number 3. So again, I'll try to give this a fair rating, but what I'm going to do for this review is tell you what I think the best parts were, and then I'll talk about what the parts that were not so good. I'll tell you what I think. The best thing about this show is the development of certain things. The thing that really stood out the most to me was not just the match with Hideo Itami and Oney Lorcan, but what happened after that I really liked. First, you had the match. It was, to me, what should have been the main event, which I'll get into in just a bit with this review, but I like this match. At first, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to care about this. It's Oney Lorcan. He's not really doing anything for me at all. And Itami seems to be going in a decent direction after that loss with Bobby Roode at TakeOver. And so I was like, I don't know if I want to see this match. I really don't. But after I saw Hideo Itami and Oney Lorcan wrestle in the ring, I thought it was pretty solid. It was actually quite a bit of fun. And I like how Hideo Itami used the GTS like 3 or 4 times. That really makes the move stand out. I like that, even though, yeah, CM Punk borrowed it from him, I like that Itami has really solidified that GTS, making it his own move, and I really like how this whole thing played out. You have Hideo Itami not even go for the pin, he just kept nailing the GTS on Oney Lorcan, and I like Oney selling the GTS. It actually felt like he was out cold, and Hideo Itami lifting dead weight, so I like how it plays out with both of them. And just the match, the slaps going back and forth. When it got going, and I thought it felt right when Hideo Itami nailed all those GTSs on Oney Lorcan, because again, it makes that move stand out on its own. And then you have Cassius Ohno come out, try to tame Hideo Itami, and then you get a little like pushing and shoving. It's pretty generic developing for a match, but I like that the direction that they're going with Hideo Itami. I feel like that already he seems to be fine working as a heel. He's not fully developed as a heel, but they're hinting at him playing that heel role. I think he might actually do good. I think he's boring as a babyface. He never really done anything for me as a babyface. Nothing really hooked me in to Hideo Itami just being a good guy. I think already I'm seeing signs of him being a good bad guy. And as far as Cassius Ohno goes, I don't see anything with him at all, but at least it's something for him. At least they're giving Cassius Ohno a direction to go in. And that's what I thought the best part of the show was. Another really good segment that I really liked was the Roderick Strong and Bobby Roode segment. First you have Roderick Strong come out, he cuts a promo, he's talking about it's not just Roddy against the world, it's Roddy and his wife and his kid against the world, and he wants to face Bobby Roode for the NXT Championship. Bobby Roode comes out. He's underestimating Roderick Strong. He's just giving him the pat on the head. Good job. You know your place, but you're not ready to face Bobby Roode for the NXT Championship. Don't play that Bobby Roode lottery. That's pretty much what Bobby Roode is saying to Roderick Strong. And it's not really a back and forth dialogue type of segment. It was more like Roderick Strong cutting a promo. He said his piece. Bobby Roode comes out, he cuts his promo, he says his piece, and that was pretty much it. It wasn't anything that was compelling, but they got the point across very well. And I'm actually okay with Roderick Strong being the guy to challenge Bobby Roode, because at this point, I don't know if I want to put Drew McIntyre in that position just yet, because he's still in that re-establishing stage, and I don't know if the NXT crowd will be welcome to him facing Bobby Roode, because they're still on board on that Bobby Roode glorious train. So, and you kind of have that fear that Drew McIntyre will get a lot of boos, but with Roderick Strong, you know, he feels like that common guy. There's not much to his character. There's really nothing there, but he is a common guy that people like to get behind, that has a wife and has a kid, and that's pretty much what you want out of a babyface. But I still feel like that Roderick Strong needs some sort of gimmick to latch on. There needs to be more, I don't know if development is the word, but something is still missing with Roderick Strong. But I feel like that putting him in this position, putting him in a feud with someone who's, to me, is actually better than Roderick Strong, will probably do wonders. And I hope that Bobby Roode can elevate Roderick Strong in future promos and segments and matches on the road to this match upcoming, hope probably at TakeOver Brooklyn. So I like to see where this is heading. And I'm not really there yet with Roderick Strong as a babyface. His promo here was okay, but when Roode came out to cut his promo, to me, that's where the segment got better. It was, so really, the Hideo Itami and Oney Lorcan, Cassius Ohno segment, and Roderick Strong and Bobby Roode segment were the two main things that you really need to know. There was also a mention of Thea Trinidad coming on NXT. You saw her debut, but it was in a backstage segment where you saw Cien coming out with, well, not coming out, but going to his car with a couple of hot chicks, and then Thea Trinidad shows up, and they have a little tiff or whatever it is, and there's a rumor going around that Thea Trinidad could be a mouthpiece for Cien. I think that's a good way to go at some point for Cien Almas. I think he needs a mouthpiece and he needs a manager, because there's something missing with the guy, and it's something that he needs. So I like to see that. I like to see Thea Trinidad be that mouthpiece for Cien. I think that's a good direction for him. And I almost wish that at this point where NXT has all these guys on their show and incoming talent pool of independent wrestlers, that I think it's time that they have a mid-card champion title on the show. You know, you have guys like Cien, you got guys like Hideo Itami, Cassius Ohno, Roderick Strong, Aleister Black. There's a cesspool of pool talent on NXT, and they need something to fight for. So I feel like that adding a secondary title, whether it's the television championship or putting something in on the show, is something that NXT kind of needs right now. Now, as far as nitpicks or issues, I really didn't have quite a lot of issues, other than a couple of things. The Killian Dane versus No Way Jose segment, that match to me, it was okay. It was nothing special. It was nothing memorable. And it was just a match where Killian Dane goes over. I kind of wish that No Way Jose won this match. And I'll tell you why. You have No Way Jose out for 2 months. Sanity beats him down. He's out with an injury. He comes back and he loses to Killian Dane. Why? Why could No Way Jose win this match? I mean, the guy, I don't know what it is, but it's almost like it's a curse every time No Way Jose comes out, that he's just bound to lose the match, and that's pretty much what happened. I would have liked to see No Way Jose get one up on Killian Dane. Yes, Sanity needs a win as a group, but Killian Dane on his own has becoming a monster. I don't mind Killian Dane winning, but I would rather see No Way Jose at least get something here, because you have him come back and you have him lose to this, and I really don't understand why that happened. I just don't. And I kind of wish that you pulled that match out of the main event, you put it somewhere in the middle of the show. That way you have Hideo Itami and Oney Lorcan as the main event, where you have that thing with Hideo Itami, Cassius Ohno teasing that heel turn. That way you leave the audience something to sink their teeth into. And with the Killian Dane and No Way Jose match, it was fine, but it was nothing really to latch on. Hideo Itami and Cassius Ohno should have been that lasting impression. It should have been that last segment on the show. That's really the only issue I have. And also the first segment on the show, it was Heavy Machinery versus Lars Sullivan and Victor Andrews. That segment I kind of didn't mind. I'm kind of in the middle of that because, yeah, again, it's nothing memorable and nothing special about it, but it got the point across. It was only a few minutes long. Heavy Machinery gets the win, and Lars Sullivan destroys his partner afterwards. Now, here's my suggestion of what I think NXT should do with Lars Sullivan. Have this continue for a few weeks. Have him, have that small guy as his partner, and do that for a few weeks until you find the right guy to team with Lars Sullivan. In comes Cesar Bonet, two big guys. I'm curious to see if that team would do well. I don't know, but it's a thought, it's a theory that I think the NXT division needs more teams right now. Maybe Lars Sullivan and Cesar Bonet would be an interesting tag team. Maybe. You can throw in, I don't know, any big guy with Lars Sullivan. It would probably work, but that's my first person that I would think of when it comes to big guys on NXT, because NXT is in short supply of teams. And the Authors of Pain haven't been on NXT for quite some time, and they need something. They need challengers at this point. I think Heavy Machinery is in that position to challenge Authors of Pain for the tag team titles, and I think it's probably going to happen at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3. So overall, this week's episode of NXT for the second straight week just delivered an okay show. There was just a bit more to this show compared to last week's, but for NXT standards, it wasn't that good of a show, and I've seen NXT do better in regular 1 hour shows than this. But I do like that they're starting to develop some matches for TakeOver Brooklyn, hopefully, because that's what it's all about. Not just the in-ring work, but delivering and developing potentially good matches for a potentially good show in TakeOver Brooklyn. So I'm going to give this week's episode of NXT a 2.75 out of 5. If you saw this week's show of NXT, what did you think about it? Feel free to leave those comments right here in the comment section below. And you can also hit that subscribe button down below this video as well to become an MRBer on this wrestling review show.